With Star Citizen patch 4.0 due imminently at time of recording, many players are concerned that the risk of an upcoming progress wipe may hamper their motivation to play the game. So what does it mean to wipe progress in Star Citizen, and are those wipes really necessary? I'm Forrester, and this video seeks to explore some of the key discussion points to those questions, so sit back and don those thinking caps as we embark on the rocky path of Star Citizen progress wipes. Perhaps reflecting on a little history lesson first can offer a perspective about the situation. Prior to database persistence, every Star Citizen patch pretty much reset all progress, credits, purchases and reputation to 0, with 0 being whatever actual purchases existed in a player's hangar. That was very simply because the back-end technology then had not yet matured to the point at which long-term persistence was possible, but it means that those who've been playing the game for a few years will be familiar with progress wipes. Fast forward to today, and even through different patches, progress wipes are very rare. There seems to be more of a general acceptance that Star Citizen is played actively as a game by many people, and not simply as a test environment. And part of that game for many is to feel a sense of progression, to unlock ships or items or reputation that move their gameplay along. And for those who live by the mantra of buying ships in-game and keeping pledge store spend to a minimum, that path of unlocking ships with Alpha UEC is a natural fit. For such people, a wipe can be especially disruptive, essentially putting them back to square one, which, depending on the individual, could be a fresh challenge or a motivation killer. So naturally, there's a healthy aversion to wiping progress for the sake of it. But that's not to say that wipes aren't always necessary, and any progress wipe for patch 4.0 is unlikely to be the last before Star Citizen goes live. Players of the game will know that Star Citizen is notorious for bugs and exploits, not surprising for a game that's in active development and not yet polished. But those bugs and exploits mean that many a player is able to amass great fortunes, often in unintended ways, which clearly impacts the balance of the game. Sometimes, where things get really bad, a reset is needed as fixes are put in place just in order to normalize the game world. That's especially true for something that Star Citizen will absolutely need to get right before going live, which is economic testing. The aspiration is that a Star Citizen 1.0 release would mark a time of no more wipes, where progress persists in perpetuity. But to do that, it's vital that the economic forces of earning and spending money are fully considered, otherwise things could quickly get out of control. For that reason, a key function that wipes play in the development path to 1.0 will be to iron out those economic wrinkles, to work out what the right level of payouts for missions, mining, salvage, cargo hauling, of risk and reward, and cost sinks will be. To do that in a period of abundance would look very different to doing that in a period of relative scarcity, such as immediately following a wipe, and it's fair to assume that predicting the full potential economic booms and busts of the game is aided considerably by experimenting immediately following a wipe. There's also something to be said for the fact that we are currently toying with Alpha UEC. When you start up the game, every time you get that little pop-up message to let you know that the game will be wiped at some point, that this is all temporary. When Star Citizen hits 1.0, that could be the moment when Alpha UEC stops and actual UEC begins, when the train wheels come off and decisions matter more into the long term. So, it's highly likely that there will be more wipes, and as much as they're inconvenient, they're probably a necessary tool to learn about how players interact with the game and prepare for a time when wipes won't be needed. They'll probably never be popular, but it doesn't hurt to remind ourselves that they're probably here to stay. But how will a progress wipe impact your gameplay? Are you excited to start afresh, or is the prospect of losing it all a motivation killer for you? I'll be interested to read your thoughts in the video comments. As ever, if you enjoyed this video or found it thought-provoking, clicking the like button gives me the heads up to make more videos like this, and if you're not yet subscribed, given that you've got this far, you might want to consider it so that YouTube knows you'd like to see more videos from this channel in future. But otherwise, and as always, thank you for watching.